Hello, everyone. I am Dr. J Lives. I'm here with Ashley Rawlins. She is a personal injury attorney that I've done a few cases with, and I just wanted to hop on a Zoom call with her today and share some information about her and ask her some questions about what her thoughts are about what's going on in the world these days. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. You're doing some work right now. I know you're a busy girl. I just saw recently that you have an office up in Sacramento now.
Yes, we have one in Sacramento as well, and then 3 locations down in San Diego County.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I do all personal injury, which covers a wide umbrella of cases, but mainly car accidents. So car accidents, slip and falls, dog bites, anytime somebody's injured due to no fault of their own, I work on those types of cases and advocate for them and fight for them against the insurance companies.
How long you been doing it for?
About 4 years now, and I have had my own practice for about 3.
Awesome. So the big question that I've been asking, because I've been doing a few interviews this week, is how has the current events of life been affecting your business, if at all?
Well, so before we were all remote, so we haven't really skipped a beat, which is nice. When I initially started my practice, I had a theory of using like the virtual offices. And so that way I would have the ability to go and meet clients either at their home or at their at their work, at their home, at a coffee shop, wherever would be convenient for them.
Yeah.
So when I started, that was kind of my whole business plan, was to kind of try to be everywhere at once. And that way I can cover a wider area, and then be able to, if I need to reduce my fees, be able to reduce them because I don't have the overhead. So we haven't skipped a beat with regards to anything really. I was set up at home from the beginning, so everyone's working remotely. Nothing has really changed for us. The only thing that's really been affected is obviously the influx of new cases, because 60-70% of less people are on the road, so that's
Yeah,
been challenging.
I was wondering about that. There was one other main question. So what's the best way for people to reach you?
So I'm on my phone all the time. So if anybody wants to call or text, I have 858-257-8778, which is my cell phone. I give that out to all my clients. Also, a couple business numbers as well, which I can share. And then email, text, pretty much anything. I try to be responsive as possible, so I usually get
Yeah.
back to everybody
I mean, I've
immediately.
worked with you now for a few months and you respond amazingly.
Yeah, I try to, because a lot of times people just want to have a response, even if you don't have an answer right away. Sometimes I'll say, I'm not in front of the case management software at the moment, but let me look when I get back. But just acknowledging somebody and keeping them in the loop at all times, I feel like that's critical for people that have been injured. They want to know that they have that constant communication, and that's
Yeah.
one of the biggest complaints from a lot of clients, that attorneys don't respond well. So
Well, you're changing that game.
I
Speaking
try.
speaking of game, I know that you have a huge affinity for the game of golf.
Yeah, a little new affinity. So I grew up playing basketball, soccer, softball. I was the boy that my dad never had. So I was the tomboy. So any sports, it was always me. And my dad and I were super close. And so obviously anytime that I can spend time with him, I take full advantage. But I had a set of clubs when I was younger, and for whatever reason, basketball was my sport. And so I just wasn't really into it. Being an attorney, obviously everybody golfs.
Yeah.
So I did some tournaments, and I was like, okay, I'm all right. And then my dad was like, you should just get your own set, but just get like a starter set. Don't go crazy, and
Right.
see if you like it. And so got a starter set, and I love it. I love being outside. It's just beautiful. Golfing is just a beautiful sport. So
Yep.
you know what they say, the worst day on the golf course is a better day than when you're working. But it's just nice. I love being outside. It's beautiful to be able to get out there and enjoy the sunshine. And Southern California has some of the best golf courses. So trying to
Yes,
work on
we
the
do.
game, taking lessons soon. So hopefully I'll improve.
Oh, you finally signed up?
Yeah, I'm gonna take lessons. So hopefully I'll take lessons, go through it, keep practicing, keep golfing several times a week, and hopefully get better, and then be able to get a
Yep.
good set of clubs. That's the plan,
Yeah,
and
I've
compete.
I've played golf for more than half of my life now, and I love everything you just mentioned about it. Getting outside, camaraderie. You could do business transactions, a bunch of different things. In terms of personal injury, obviously as a chiropractor, we do personal injury in our office and we help patients, heal as quickly as possible through chiropractic adjustments. But what other services do you usually use when you're dealing with a personal injury case?
So chiropractic, definitely usually that's like the main point of connection, because you guys, I like to say, are the quarterback of the case and see the client very frequently. But I have connections with doctors of all disciplines, MRI facilities, pain management, orthopedic, neurologists, and surgeons. So I network a lot and I'm very well connected. So if a client needs anything, I usually have that doctor in my phone that I can recommend that they go to.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember when I met you, you had a bunch of good material and good references for me. Let's see. Do you have any questions for me or anything else that you wanted to share with everybody? We got good contact info, understand what you do, understand that obviously right now things are a little bit less than usual, but you're still definitely working and taking on clients.
Still working, still taking on clients. Happy to do any Zoom, FaceTime, or any calls of that nature. Obviously, I'm happy to meet with somebody in person if they're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force it if somebody's not comfortable. But I'm happy to meet with somebody as well.
Yeah.
For you, I guess my question for you is, why is it so important that after a car accident, a client goes to a chiropractor, and what if they don't have health insurance, or what if they don't have any money but they really need care?
Okay, so the first question is, I always answer it with, people generally speaking after a car accident, their body is in what is known as fight or flight response, and they might not know how injured they really are. A lot of people don't come into our office until 2, sometimes even 3 weeks after their accident, and then the symptoms start coming on because their body was so hyper trying to keep them in alignment. So that's number one, is the sooner you go, the better results you're going to get. And what was the second part of your question there? Is if they don't have insurance?
If I was injured in an accident and I have no money or no health insurance, then how do I come and see you?
So we work off of liens, and hopefully, if the case is viable enough, we always recommend that if a patient just walks in the door, they have to have an attorney, and I'll have an attorney look over the case, and the attorney can decide if the case is even viable or not. Viable usually means, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but the bare minimum would be that their medical expenses would be covered, let alone if there's out-of-pocket, reward that they might receive themselves on top of the medical expenses at the end. Is that correct?
Right. And what is a lien for somebody who might not know what a lien is?
It means that we're working knowing that at the end of the case, when the case closes, then we'll get paid. We're not getting paid at the beginning before we start our work or during the work. Okay.
And what's the importance of a client having an attorney from your point of view?
I mean, from my point of view, it's based off of what attorneys have told me, but it's based on if your case, if you did it by yourself, would be worth $10,000, let's say, an attorney could get you exponentially more than that. That's what you're trained in. That's what your job is to get the max value and the best care for your client. And that's why you went to school. You know things that they simply would not. And it's all about maximizing the return value of their reward based on their injury. Number one, you got to get them better, or as close to better as humanly possible, which is where I come into play. And I know through talking to you is what you really value with your clients. But secondarily, a lot of lost work, or maybe not being able to work at all. It all depends on the severity of the case, obviously, how bad the accident was. But at the end of the day, if you could put money in their pocket also, that's always helpful. And that's where you come into play better than they could ever do themselves.
Right. And I think a lot of times clients worry because we charge a contingency fee at the end of settlement. So they wonder how we're going to get more and then still cover the attorney fees. But I think that typically we can still get them more in their pocket, have their medical bills paid for, even having the attorney fee come out of the top.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we create a sense of risk with the insurance companies. So they want to make sure that they pay. Otherwise, they don't want a lawsuit against them.
Yes, that totally makes sense.
Although there are some ones that still, strong arm occasionally, but that's like the nature of the beast with anything. You're always going to have the outliers, but for the most part.
I remember when I met you, you said that's part of what you loved is that you can go and, you fight for people. You love going to court, you said.
I love to fight and advocate and hope to have more trials. Unfortunately, a lot of them settle, but I've loved to argue since I was a kid, and I love to fight, and especially being, going against the big insurance companies. We're the little guys, so there's nothing greater than being able to stand up for somebody that doesn't have a voice of their own and advocate for them, and then bring them justice. And a lot of times justice isn't just a dollar amount, but it's overcoming the hurdles that you've had to overcome to get a settlement. And yes, it comes in dollars, but it also comes in medical treatment and pain and suffering, and being able to not accept that lowball offer from the insurance company like they want you to.
Yes, of course. And again, that answers your question you asked me perfectly. Like, that's what you do. That's your job. That's what you fight for. I presume there are people who try and fight a case by themselves without taking on an attorney, but I can't imagine how terrible those go compared to someone who does have an attorney.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I've had cases that have come to me after they have tried to negotiate.
Right, that's what
or they have a lowball settlement and they're like, hey, can you help? And I'm always happy to pick up the pieces, and I usually do it for a reduced rate. Just because I don't want the insurance companies to take advantage of people. That's like the worst thing ever, when these big insurance companies take advantage. But getting an attorney from the very get-go is important, because not only do we help facilitate their care, making sure they get better, but we ensure that there is no gaps in care. We negotiate the medical bills. There's more that we do than just getting the settlement that goes on behind the scenes. So that's why it's important.
You actually care about people.
Right.
Awesome. I don't have any other direct questions for you. Again, I just wanted to introduce you to my followers, and if they themselves, or if they know anyone who is in an accident or injury, that they could totally reach out and contact you.
Awesome. Thanks, Doc. I'm happy to talk to anybody at any time.
You want to give your information one more time, just so we for sure all have it?
Yeah, my cell phone is 858-257-8778. The business phone is 858-LAW-5872. If you're in Sacramento, I have a different phone number for Sacramento, which is 916-9933-LAW. And email is Ashley, ASHLEY, at the Rawlins, RAWLINS, firm.com. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as well at Rawlins Law APC.
You are hooked up.
Social media.
You got some. I see you all over LinkedIn too. You have some great posts on LinkedIn.
I try. One lady told me something. One attorney who is very well connected told me probably the best piece of advice, but one of the best sayings I've ever heard. And she said, when I first started my practice, she said, your network is your net worth. And that really resonated with me, because it is all about who you know. Yes, you need to be educated and know things, but it's all about who you know and having that well-rounded network to be able to connect with people.
Right. I completely agree, and I'm happy to have you in my network.
Likewise, but we need to golf soon.
As soon as I'm allowed to take a cart and be okay with it.
You can now.
No, but like you can only have one person per cart. That's so weird.
No, I took one the other day. Me and Dad went.
Where? What course?
St. Mark's.
Up in North County.
Yeah, I think you're all allowed, if you can show that you're members of the same household or you wear a mask. I know you can, if you show you're members of the same household, you can, but we're not, and we still did. So hopefully restrictions will ease up sooner rather than later.
I looked today at Torrey Pines. The only tea time available for the next 7 days is after 6 o'clock at night.
Are they allowing carts?
Yes.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. Sure. Well, we'll get out there soon for sure.
We need to. I need some pointers. I need to get good.
Yeah. Well, I'm fairly decent, so I think I can help you out.
You're more than fairly decent.
Well, it was awesome chatting with you, and hopefully we can help more people going forward.
That's the goal, to help as many people as possible and to keep fighting against the big guys.
You got it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thanks, Doc.
Bye, Ashley.
Thanks. Bye.